It's a sick contest that's about to go down right here on the park course. The best street skaters from all over the world, guys like Chris Haffey, Rashard Johnson, and the reigning best trick champ, Brian Shima, they're all here and ready to do battle right here on this course. Now let's take a look at this course. It's got a lot of unique elements out there for these guys really to have a chance to hurt themselves and try some dangerous stuff. But none more dangerous than this obstacle right here. It's a launch to grind, disaster grind. See this ledge box? The only way you can get to it if you want to do a grind is to launch off of here, so danger and difficulty are automatically built into it. You can bet that the championship will be won or lost right here in today's contest.
Here in Sacramento, California, at the Cal Expo, California State Fair, it's the Mobile Skate Park Series and a who's who of the best street skaters.
When a comp comes around and the money's here, everybody comes to get it. All the big names are here because we're on the RFCC All-Star Tour, and we've just been going to shops, doing demos for the kids and just promoting our sponsors.
It's like more like friendly competition to me because kids like Aragon and Shima and all those dudes, like I skate with them a lot at home, so when we come out here it's more like friends having fun. It's not like, oh man, I gotta win this one.
I just want to come out and have fun rather than come out and try to prove myself. I think I've done that in the past, and I don't think I need to do that anymore.
And another skater who definitely doesn't need to prove himself is Aaron Feinberg.
It's good to see old faces, you know? There's very few of us, so when old faces do come back in, they're greeted with warm welcomes.
At one time, the most dominant street skater in the world, Aaron Feinberg is known for his fiery demeanor on the course. Also can throw down some ridiculously difficult tricks. Former world champion and X Games gold medalist, he throws it down. Not only can he put together dangerous runs, but he also does best tricks, so he is a threat to win here in Sacramento. But he'll have to get past a massive field of competitors. There's Vinnie Minton. First pro best trick contest of the year for him, but he's always a threat. A whole field of guys who love the format. It is going to be an absolute battle here at the California State Fair. Don't go anywhere because the biggest names are going to be throwing the craziest stunts. The Mobile Skate Park Series is brought to you by Toyota. See your local Scion dealer starting at $13,245. Scion, what moves you? By Paul Mitchell, professional salon products. Paul Mitchell, the style in lifestyle sports. By Mongoose Bicycles. Check out the Mongoose Simon Tabron and Stephen McCann signature bikes from the #1 name in BMX. Mongoose, #1 from day one. And by ASA Events, the leader in action sports event and television production since 1994. We are Action Sports. The big dogs of Inline Street all got together and hit the road on the RFCC All-Star Tour. They went all throughout Northern California, from skate parks to skate shops, showing off their skills. Now they find themselves heading here to the California State Fair, and it is time for them to do battle at the Mobile Skate Park Series.
I think competitions at the state fair are actually like the best way to do it. When they're already at the fair and they just see people flying around flipping, then they get really interested and they come and they get juiced.
And the format is conducive to getting people juiced. 16 skaters, 4 heats of 4. They'll go down into a semifinal bracket of 8 and then a final 4, and anybody can win it.
I think everyone that's here deserves to be here and has a good chance to win. I mean, it's best trick, so one good trick can win it all.
Heat #1, some amazing talent. Carl Hills, a guy who's been underrated over the last few years, but came out with a bang. Stephen O'Leal came all the way from France to show off his skills, hoping to make it to the Final 4. In heat #1, also Jerry Butler, a new up-and-comer who's done very well in best trick competitions. And the favorite of this heat, Brian Aragon. So dominant every time he skates, and he came out lacing the course.
You know, when guys out there are going off or doing crazy stuff, I mean, it's like an energy drink or something. It just boosts you. You know you have to put your game face on and go out there and do what you got to do. It's sick.
Carl Hills joined the Pro Tour as a vert skater, but he's really been making a name for himself on street with big moves like this, finally sticking that disaster topside way outside of the course. Sick move.
Carl Hills made the crowd go crazy, launch off a little quarter pipe, stall the judges. He wanted to be up close and personal with the judges. He's not missing any opportunities.
I saw it in practice, and like I hadn't even launched up to it. I was just like, I'm with Aragon and that French kid. I was like, balls out, man. I either got to do it or go home.
And he did do it. He moves on with Brian Aragon. So heat number 2, we've got Nick Wood, Richie Velasquez, Frankie Morales, and Dre Powell. Frankie Morales, first up, one of the most exciting skaters with a very unique style.
Frankie Morales spinning 540 into the topside sole, but also showing that he's good on the transitions with a 900 over the box with that signature Frankie style squatting down low. Richie Velasquez has been very successful at best trick contests over the past couple of years. But of all the riders in this field, Nick Wood has got to be the most pure street skater, and it should help him in this style of contest. And here he goes, dropping down Disaster Royale. Good line from Nick Wood.
And Dre Powell, he knew he had big shoes to fill now. Coming out, trying, but could not land the big tricks. So unfortunately, he does not advance. Nick Wood and Frankie Morales move on to compete against Brian Aragon and Carl Hills in semifinal round number 1. While Dre does not advance, he does take some time to teach us a new trick.
Yo, what up? It's Dre Powell. You're here in Sacramento, MSS, and on today's Trictionary, I'm gonna teach you how to do a true top acid. Peep game. All right, to do a true top acid, you gotta approach the ledge, obviously on your top side foot. You gotta make sure your feet are a full 180. And you gotta have your feet already canted and tweaked so you can lock on topsoil. And then you wanna proceed to kind of look with your head, look towards your feet, make sure you lock on, everything's cool. Land it, roll away, steeze it out.
2 heats down, 2 to go. Rashard Johnson, Eric Bailey, Jaron Grobe, and Chris Haffey.
Haffey has just been killing things.
Oh man, Chris Haffey's like the best rollerblader ever and just pushing the envelope constantly.
Well, everybody was unhappy to be paired up with him, but the monster Jaron Grobe gave it his best shot. Unfortunately there, not making it work. Rashard Johnson showed off some of his technical prowess.
Flat spin 540, definitely not something you see every day from Rashard. Eric Bailey, someone who's been around for a while, but someone who's really starting to come to his own on the streets. And look at how powerful he's here in this contest. Oh my goodness. Going for a disaster sweat stance. This has got to be one of the tricks of the contest. Sticking it.
So Eric, how do you feel about that gap sweat stance? Took a couple mean diggers, but I came through.
So he will join Chris Haffey in semifinal heat number 2, and he knows exactly what the judges are looking for.
I think they're looking for something a bit creative, something innovative, just some new tricks and style, and I guess going big.
It's a best trick contest, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be looking for best tricks. Big, crazy stuff like that.
Well, you can't be much more obvious or gratuitous in the comment there, but you may know what's good for him. Brian Murphy, first guy up in heat number 4 and setting it off. Look at all these different types of variations. Vinnie Minton giving him a high five, but also trying to throw down himself.
Going true fish, zero spin, alley-oop fish, transferring on the rails. Aaron Feinberg is the original bad boy of competition skating. And he's just moved to Portland recently, but he is back to compete here in California.
Feinberg!
At our last stop in Cincinnati, Brian Shima emerged victorious And he's going to try and keep that momentum going here in Sacramento, showing a lot of technical, creative moves all over the course. But you got to wonder, did he throw down any hammers big enough to get him into the next round?
So despite some of those incredible tricks, Aaron Feinberg and Vinnie Minton will go against Chris Haffey and Eric Bailey in semifinal round number 2. The stage is set. The tricks are only going to get harder. We're down to 8. Welcome back. That is the Capitol building of the state of California, and we are right up the street at Cal Expo in the California State Fair. The MSS bringing all sorts of excitement.
Welcome to Sacramento, MSS.
This course not only featuring pro competition, but also amateur full street run contest with the top skaters qualifying to compete next year against these pros.
Most of today's top pros had to qualify through the AM circuit. We're looking here at tomorrow's top stars.
Well, I think it's very important to have an amateur circuit because, you know, if we didn't have one, they wouldn't really have anywhere to go. I mean, they can go film and make videos, and that's great, but they really need something, you know, like the amateur circuit to give them a goal, you know, to try to work for something to become pro, like Aragon or Haffey or Shima, you know. So I think the amateur circuit is very important, and it also brings, you know, more kids into it.
I came up through the amateur ranks of the ASA a few years back. It took me, I think, like 3 years of going to ASAs and traveling all around to go to them, and it was just a process to get to pro, and it was very difficult.
Very important for the kids to, you know, come in and compete as amateur, you know, and work your way up. It builds good character for you to like have to come up under guys and actually like learn what skating's about, and you know, who you have to look up to and what came from where, and you respect it that way, you know?
It's not just about what tricks you can do, it's about being able to do it when it's all on the line. David Sizemore, all of 15 years old, the only amateur even to attempt that big disaster oil, and then the big 900.
It's a dream to become a pro skater. I love it. It's the best thing in the entire world.
Congratulations to amateur champion David Sizemore, who blew away the field, and to all of our top 5 who are now pro.
An incredible young talent who will have to next year contend with skaters like Brian Shima, somebody who has had such an impact on the style and look of street skating, and today has actually been eliminated from the competition already. That just is testament to just how deep the field is and how many great skaters. But look at the style that Brian Shima brings to the sport. So many other skaters trying to emulate him. Another very unique skater in heat number 1 here in the semifinal, Frankie Morales.
I've been skating more street. I haven't been skating ramps that much. I'm at Woodward now, so I guess you can call that a comeback. Yeah.
Frankie here demonstrating the style of moves that he really ushered into rollerblading, one of the first riders going 540 into big grinds. But no one has taken that style of skating further than Prince Aragon.
Ryan Aragon just landed a 540 top acid transfer. Oh my goodness.
Every time he skates, it's oh my goodness. Brian Aragon just icing the course once again.
Now this really is a battle of styles here. You've got skaters like Carl Hills and Nick Wood who do big stunts, very comfortable park skating, versus Frankie and Brian with more technical moves. Nick Wood going for the disaster onto the grind, and Brian Aragon still showing off his technical prowess. Carl Hills going for a huge stunt as he tries to lock on Fishbrain stall out of the course.
What I want ahead of the competition, honestly, is just to qualify for the World Championships, because they're in England, you know. My sponsor said if you qualify, we'll pay the ticket and everything, so I'm just hoping to get like an 8th or something and just qualify for England.
Well, the way he's skating, he can do a lot better than 8. Disaster kind grind, huge move. It's about a 6-foot drop, and he's got to land that difficult grind flawless.
And he will advance with that, as will Brian Aragon, into the Final 4. Heat number 2, and Eric Bailey gets off to a big start.
And Aaron Feinberg, who's been on hiatus, coming back with a strong performance, just keeps advancing. And of course, one of the top contenders coming in this event, Chris Haffey.
Vinnie Minton. A lot of people hadn't seen him skate in a while, but starting off okay, but knows he's got better than that.
Yeah, and Eric Bailey's been strong all day. Vinnie Minton going out of the course. Big 180 transfer, clean landing. This is one of the bigger tricks we've seen today.
Getting a high five from Frankie, who unfortunately was knocked out of the competition.
Eric Bailey's been one of the only guys we've seen attempting this huge disaster grind, going sweat stance.
Chris Haffey putting together a bit of a line there, but neither trick too dominant.
Whoa, Aaron Feinberg going fakie 360, Ali Macchio working that disaster bar both ways. Oh my goodness.
So unfortunately for Chris Haffey, it looks like he is not going to advance. Aaron Feinberg and Vinnie Minton will go up against Brian Aragon and Nick Wood. Those are our final 4 skaters. They are coming up next.
Keep your eyes on Vinny.
The Mobile Skate Park Series is brought to you by Toyota. See your local Scion dealer starting at $13,245. Scion, what moves you? By Paul Mitchell, professional salon products. Paul Mitchell, the style in lifestyle sports. By Mongoose Bicycles. Check out your Mongoose Simon Tabron and Stephen McCann signature bikes from the #1 name in BMX. Mongoose #1 from day one. And by ASA Events, the leader in action sports event and television production since 1994. We are Action Sports.
So this is what it all comes down to. One final 10-minute session for the 4 top riders. We started with 16, and now we are down to the top 4. Vinnie Minton has got here with a mixed bag, showing off technical moves, but also not afraid to throw down the big stunts, going out of the course.
Aaron Feinberg, it's so good to see him back. He's been such a dominant force in the sport, but the last couple of years, taking a break. This is exactly what you expect from Aaron, the huge transfers and big, dangerous technical tricks.
Talk about the total package. Brian Aragon has been skating on another level. Everyone knows he's got the technical tricks, but he has been adding the difficulty and the danger, throwing down big disasters, and when it comes to technicality, no one can match him.
As some rain falling from the moon to the sky, illumine the tide. I can see the fumes in your eyes. We're in a place where unity be. I can feel the ink walk through my veins.
And our 4th and final skater here in the final, Nick Wood. Trying to earn his spot to the championships, and he's doing it with style so far. Dangerous, dangerous tricks. They're dropping, disaster, kind grind, and making the most of this single trick format out here.
For sure, I like the jam session better lines. Because I suck at lines, and I'm better at doing best tricks.
Time to put your money where your mouth is, Nick. Setting up first one, now trying to spin into that disaster transfer. Variation on a theme for Nick Wood. Aaron Feinberg setting up something. Going fakie 270, fish brain. And watch, he spins back in, extra 180. So spinning into and out of those grinds adds difficulty.
You only have to land one trick. It doesn't matter if you fall 10 times.
How about this for a big trick? Now Aragon trying to go for a big spin, 450 into the backside Royale, all the way over that disaster. Aaron Feinberg now trying to spin onto a fast slide. So the guy's definitely raising the bar here. Vinnie Minton, we saw him go out in an earlier round, and now spinning at 540. Definitely upping the stakes. Tough fall. So not sure if Vinny's gonna be able to finish this round as Brian Aragon goes 540 disaster true Mizu.
There's a lot of guys I know that are kind of bent because they can flow so good. It's probably bad for those guys, but this format's really, really good for me.
Well, this is what you expect in the finals. Big tricks and big falls. Nick Wood landing that alley-oop spin, dropping down to the Disaster Royale. He rolls along backwards, that's going fakie, and then he's gonna spin 270 back into the front side Royale. Good combination.
I dropped really far into a rail, and I'm juiced.
Aaron working on a line of his own as he goes fakie 720. Transition to transition over the handrail.
Aragon can just spin on to any trick and stuff. Like, he wins everything. He's so good.
Aragon has been working this big spin to Disaster, has not hit it yet, and there he goes, 450 back Royale. Huge move. Few guys even attempting this Disaster, and Aragon going 450. Perfect landing. So much going into this trick, and that's very difficult for the guys. The strange extension off of that landing ramp, for Aragon to master like that, just a testament to how dominant this guy is.
With time running out, Aaron Feinberg misses on the fakie 720, so I think everybody's got an opinion as to who's got the big trick.
Brian Aragon for sure. 450 back Royale.
I would say Brian Aragon.
But I give second place Aaron Feinberg for breaking his helmet.
Well, here it is, the Paul Mitchell final results. Vinnie Minton had to bow out early. Aaron Feinberg takes third. Nick Wood with a great second place, and Brian Aragon, the king for today.
Brian, it seems pretty straightforward. Best trick wins, but really with 3 heats to get through, the quarterfinal, semifinal, and all that, it seems like there's actually a lot of strategy involved.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategy because you have to think of what you're gonna do in the heats up to finals, and then you have to have a finals trick that you think you want to try then.
Tell me about that final trick.
Well, I didn't see anyone else spinning over that today, and I knew I could do that trick on pretty much anything, so I thought that would be perfect to do it on.
Well, skated great through all 3 heats. Congratulations to our street champ, Brian Aragon.
Some insane skating out here, and if you can't get enough of the action sports you see at the Mobile Skate Park Series, it's BMX next week right here on OLN, same time. Special thanks to the California State Fair, and if you like the music you heard here, be sure to log on to mssevent.com. For Arlo Eisenberg, I'm Mark Shays. Thanks so much for watching the Mobile Skate Park Series.